Hey guys! So ISI thought that it would be a good idea since that you guys are off, we could have some time to review the worksheet number 2. So let's start guys. So the content that we took in this worksheet would be about short vowel E, O, and U. And we discussed the realistic fiction genre and some vocabulary words like aside, culture, fair, invited, language, plead, scurries, and share. You guys are all aware of these words. And then we read the text Maria Celebrates Brazil, and we took the grammar lesson commands and exclamations, and we covered the narrative text, which is a friendly letter. So let's start. Let's start with the high frequency words that you guys are all aware of and we all know, like ball, blue, both, even, for, help, put, there, why, yellow, boy, by, girl, he, here, she, small, want, where, what. We've discussed these words and you guys all know them. You have to be aware of them and you must know how to spell them and how to pronounce them. Okay, so the comprehension text in this worksheet is Pete's Cousin. Read the story Pete's Cousin. So I'm going to read it to you guys here and then hopefully at home you guys will do the same. Let's start. Pete's Aunt Anna and Cousin Louis were coming to visit. They lived in Mexico. Do they have to come? I do not want visitors, Pete said to his dad. You have never met them, said Dad. But Anna is my sister and Louis is your cousin. Louis is your age and I am sure you will like him. I am used to being by myself. Do I have to share my room and my things? Pete asked. And Louis lives so far away that I bet we will not like to do any of the same things. Stop worrying, said Dad. I think you will have lots of fun together. Pete did not think so. He felt sad. He was sure Louis would be very different from him. Pete was sure he would be bored. At last, Pete's aunt and cousin arrived. Louis smiled. Hi, Pete said. Louis said something back, but Pete did not understand the word. Aunt Anna said, he said hello. Oh, said Pete, but he thought, oh no, we cannot even talk to each other. Pete saw that their clothes were very different and that their shoes were different. I bet we do different things for fun too, he thought. You two look a little alike, said Dad. Really? Asked Pete. Really, said Aunt Anna. You both have dark brown hair and you both have brown eyes. And you both have beautiful smiles, said Aunt Anna. Pete and Louis looked at each other. Then they both smiled. Maybe, said Pete. Pete took Louis to his room. Louis looked at Pete's things like he did not know what to think. How will we play together, thought Pete. Then Louis picked up Pete's soccer ball. He bounced it off his knee and then off his head. You're good, said Pete. Pete hit the ball back to Louis with his head. And they both laughed. Louis pointed at the window and Pete did not need words to understand this time. Let's go outside, said Pete, and they played soccer till dinner. They came in with red cheeks and big smiles. Having a cousin from Mexico is great, said Pete. Okay, so we read the text together that you guys need to read. And then after you guys understand the text and you read the text, we have to go now to the comprehension questions. So now answer numbers 1 through 10. Base your answers on Pete's cousin. So you're going to answer these questions, but you're going to go back to the text that we read here, and you're going to find the answer in the text. So where does this story take place? We have 4 choices. Either in Mexico, at Louis's house, at Pete's home, or in a soccer game. So, was it in Mexico or did his friend come from Mexico? Was it at Louis's home or at Pete's home or in a soccer game? So we have to remember that Louis is the cousin of Pete's who went over to Pete's house, right? And the soccer game was just an event. It wasn't something that happened. It wasn't there. They weren't there the whole time. So obviously the answer would be at Pete's home, right, guys? Yes. So we will underline this right here. Okay. What happens after Louis bounces the ball off his knee and head? Pete takes Louis to his room. Pete's aunt and cousin arrive. Dad says you two look alike. Or Pete knows that Louis can play soccer. So let's look at these choices. Pete takes Louis to his room. If we go back to the text, we do not find that, right? We don't find that. And Pete's aunt and cousin arrive. Well, technically, how would Louis bounce the ball off his head and knee if he hasn't arrived yet to Pete's house? So obviously they have arrived before. Dad says you two look a little alike. This was in the beginning of the text, if you guys remember. You two look alike. This was before they even played soccer, right? So I think the most logic answer would be Pete knows that Louis can play soccer, right? Because he saw him do that action, and now he knows that he can play soccer. Okay, read the sentence from the story. Pete was sure he would be bored. What does the word bored tell about Pete? Well, first of all, we have to understand the word bored. What is bored? Let's see the choices first. He wants to have fun. He never wants to have fun. He thinks he will have a lot of fun. He does not think he will have fun. So first of all, the word bored. When do you guys feel bored? Have you ever felt bored? So I'm pretty sure you guys know that the word bored is when you don't have anything to do and you're not having fun and you have nothing else to do. So he wants to have fun. If he was bored, doesn't mean he wants to have fun. He never wants to have fun, or he thinks he'll have a lot of fun, or he does not think he will have fun. Well, if he's bored and he's sure that he's going to be bored, that means he does not think he will have fun, right? If arrive means reach a place, what does arrived mean? Okay, so we've spoken about this a lot in class, and remember I told you that when we find ed right here, it means something happened in the, of course you guys know, which is the past. So if arrive means reach a place, arrive, this word means reach a place. Arrive, something that happened in the past, it's done, it's finished. What do we add to this word? So arrive means reach a place, arrived in the past. So we reached a place, right? So we have to look for the same ending. We have to add ed to this verb, reached, right? So it would be reach places, reached a place, reaching a place, or reach a place before. No, reached a place. Arrive means reached a place, right? Okay. How does Pete change in this story? He changes what he likes to do for fun. He is sad and then becomes happy. He is happy and then becomes sad. He learns how to play a new sport. Well, he changes what he likes to do for fun. I don't think he changed what he likes to do for fun because that doesn't state that in the story. He's playing soccer with his cousin, as said, so I don't think it's something he changed because he likes playing soccer in the beginning. He is sad and then becomes happy. Maybe he is happy and then becomes sad. He was not happy in the beginning of the story. You guys know that. He was upset. He learns how to play a new sport. Also, not true because he likes to play soccer. So he is sad and then he becomes happy. He was not happy that his cousin was coming, right? He was very upset. He said that he would be bored. And then at the end, he's very happy that his cousin came. Remember, he says, having a cousin from Mexico is great. So this shows that he was upset in the beginning and then he became happy. Which word has the same root word as smiled? Smiled. So we have to look, okay, smile. The root word of smile, first of all, is smile, guys. I told you, you take the D, smile. I smile in present and I smiled in the past. So now we have to look for a word in these and see which one has the same root word. Led, I don't think this has anything to do with the word smile. Miles, also not the same. Smelled, also not. But then if we look here, smiling, smiling. Okay, yes, it ends with ing, but it means the same, and the root word is smile, but we remove the e here, but this is the same root word. Smiled, I smiled in the past, and I am smiling. It's something that I am doing. So smiled and smiling have the same root word. Okay. Why does Pete think that he and Louis will be different? Louis is his cousin. Louis is not his age. Louis is coming to visit. Louis lives far away in Mexico. Okay, let's go back to the text because this one we need to look at the text. So he says, I do not want visitors. He's from Mexico. I remember they lived in Mexico. So maybe he thinks that they're different because he lives in a different place, right? If you guys were talking, you had a cousin in America, right? You would think that your cousin is different because he lives in a different place. 8. What is one reason Dad thinks Pete and Louis may have fun together? Pete likes having visitors. Pete and Louis have never met. Pete and Louis are the same age, or Pete and Louis both have brown eyes. So also, if you go back to the text, let's go back to the text, we can see that he also tells him you guys are the same age, somewhere around here. Let's find it. Oh wait, let's find it. Louis is your age, and I'm sure you will like him. So the dad is sure that Louis and Pete will have fun together because they are the same age. You always just have to look back at the text and you will find the answer. Read these sentences from the story. Stop worrying, said Dad. I think you will have lots of fun together. What does the word worrying tell about Pete? He is tired, he is upset, he is smart, or he is excited. Well, first of all, let's talk about the word worrying. When you worry about something, it means you're thinking about something a lot, and it's like giving you maybe a little headache. You have to think about it a lot. So it's not going to make you feel happy. You never worry about something that will make you feel happy. And it doesn't have to do anything about being smart, and it doesn't have to do anything about being excited, because when you're excited about something, you don't worry about it. And if you're tired, it doesn't really have to do with worrying here. So he was upset. That's why he was worrying. So the answer is B. And you guys need to reread this text and try to do it on your own and find the answers from the text. Which word has the same root word as nodded? Nodded. Okay. So as we said, the root word of nodded is nod. Okay. I nod my head. That's 1D. Oh. Gosh. Okay, that's not working. Wait. It's just N-O-D without these double D at the end. Gosh. The point is, the root word of nod is only nod without the ED at the end, okay? It's not working. The point is, we have to look for the root word of this word. Deed has nothing to do with it, right? Node, also not. Nodding, oddly. So obviously we find that from the first 3 letters of this word and the first 3 letters of this word, this is the root word. And sorry, that's not working here. Okay, let's go to the vocabulary. Choose the vocabulary. Choose the word that makes sense in each sentence. Write the word on the line. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 words that we have discussed in detail in class. We have aside, language, culture, plead, fair, scurries, invited, and share. Let's start. Make your homework blank so I can set the table for dinner. Okay. Make your homework blank so I can set... Oh, sorry. Move your homework blank so I can set the table for dinner. I'm sorry. Move your homework. So, someone wants to set the table. They want to put the plates on the table for dinner. And your homework is in the way, right? So, when something is in the way, what do you do? What do we do when something is in the way? Guys, I reminded you that we put it aside, right? Okay, good. The chipmunk blank away when he sees us. Okay, remember we spoke about this in class? Not just a chipmunk, maybe a squirrel. And they get afraid of us. So what do? The chipmunk scurries away when it sees us. Scurries. Okay. Our class must what? Blank the crayons equally. So in a class, we have one pack of crayons and we have to use them equally. So what does the word that fits here? Maybe share, right? Our class must share the crayons equally. Okay. Everyone follows the rules to make sure the game is what? We have rules so that everyone has an equal what? Equal share, equal fair. What do we have? Everyone follows the rules to make sure the game is fair, right? Right here. Leo had to beg Anne blank for a new bike. Okay, here we have a context clue in the word. We have a synonym, a word that means something similar to these words, right? Leo had to beg Anne blank for a new bike. Beg. What word is like beg here? Aside? No. Language? No. Culture? Fair? Scurries? Share? Invited? Or plead? When you plead, you beg to someone. Remember I told you I beg my mother, I plead to my mom. Please, mom, let me stay out a little longer. Maggie blanked the whole class to her party. Okay, so remember I told you that last week was my birthday and I have a big party and I want my friends to come over. So what do I do when I want them to come over? I invite them. I invited them to my birthday, right? So the word here, Maggie, invites the whole class to her party. Maggie invited the whole class to her party. It happened. It's finished. Spanish is a blank I want to learn. So in school, what kind of languages do we take? What kind of languages do we take? English, Spanish, Arabic, French, right? So we know that Spanish is a language. This one is the easiest one that you guys, I'm sure, know. I am from a different blank. So aside, over, language is done. Plead, scurry, share, invited, fair. I am from a different what? Culture. I told you guys that the Lebanese culture is different than the American culture, is different from the Indian culture. So we all come from different cultures, okay? This is the phonics part and the last part I will give to you guys. There are 6 spelling mistakes in the paragraph below. Circle the misspelled words. Write the words correctly on the lines. Okay, so we have this paragraph right here. And you can see the words that are wrong already underlined in red. But we'll go over them. So we have 6 spelling mistakes and we have to find them and then write them correctly on the line here. Right? You guys are used to this. So let's read the text. Let me tell you about Ben. He is my Pete rabbit. Is that pet or Pete? He is not very big yet. I went to the shop to get food for him. I gave him a bath in the tub. Taking care of Ben is my job. So obviously you know that let me tell you about Ben. How many L's do we have in tell? Of course we have 2. So you guys know I'm gonna just underline them here. We have 2 L's. And then he is my new Pete. It has double E, so it's not even pet here. It's Pete, whatever that is. So we know that in pet we only have 1 E. He is not very big yet. Also, you guys know these are high frequency words that you must know that he is not very big yet. We only have 1 T in the word not. I went, because there's an EI, which is completely wrong. I went to the shop to get food for him. I went to the shop to get food for him without a I, right? It should be W-E-N-T. I gave him a bath in the tub. Tub. How many B's should be in the word tub? 1. Taking care of Ben is my job. Also here, I guess they like to double the B, so it's taking care of Ben is my job with 1 B. So what do? We write these words correctly on the lines below. Okay? Okay, the grammar part has actually not been explained in class yet completely, but we'll go over them since you guys, I guess, are capable. An exclamation ends with an exclamation point and a command ends with a period. Okay, this is easy. You guys know these. Circle command or exclamation for each sentence. So we know that if it's a command, what does it end with? With a period. And if it's an exclamation, it ends with a exclamation point. So it's very easy to recognize these, right guys? Have fun at the party. What does it end with here? It ends with a period. So what is it? It's a command. Okay? It is Jen's birthday. Right away, where do we look? At the mark. We need to see what kind of mark there is. Is this a period or an exclamation mark? It's a exclamation point. So we underline that. And we know that this is an exclamation. My family will surprise her. Also here, exclamation point. It's an exclamation. We know directly from how it ends. Do not tell Jen. Period. Right? It's a command. Also, you know from the command, he's telling her to do something, right? Have fun at the party. They're telling them to do something. Do not tell Jen. Okay, here it's Jen's birthday. My family will surprise her. Here it's filled with emotion. But with the command, you see that it's telling someone to do something. Come to my house at noon. Also, here we're telling the person to do something. It's a command and it ends with a period. And we circle command. Okay? And then refer back to the text, Pete's cousin, and choose one command and one exclamation. This part I will not solve for you. So anyone who wants to work a little extra hard will do this part. He'll go back to the text, look for one command and one exclamation. So you have to look for how they end, the period, the exclamation, and you write them down. I will not solve that for you. Those are for the high achievers in class. So if anyone wants to work a little extra hard. Also, not just this, but I have another text for the high achievers in class. You could go into the Google Drive and in extra worksheets, you will find, just a second, you will find Mercat Family. This is a text I want you guys to read. Okay? So if you have some extra time, or you want to work a little harder, I want you to go read this text, okay? And for everyone, they should just go in, review the biweekly sheet, try to solve it on their own. And for students that want to work a little extra hard, can go into the Google Drive and, why is this not working? And can go in and read this, okay guys? So other than that, that's pretty much it. Just go into the biweekly sheet and these are extra to solve and the rest should be reviewed and solved. Okay guys, any questions? I'm here. Thanks everyone.